If you're looking for the best guns that you should be using in Battlefield 6's new RedSec Battle Royale mode, then we've got you covered here. We've been playing a ton of the game, testing out the different weapons. A lot of the weapons have actually been updated and tweaked with the update that RedSec added in, so some things are feeling a bit different to actually handle, and in the actual mode itself, with the different time to kill, things have been mixed up. But don't worry, we have you covered. If you've been loving a weapon that we haven't covered here on the list, then drop it in the comments down below so we can all learn as a community together. The first top-level basic thing that you should try and get used to doing is having one weapon for close-range fights and one weapon for medium to long-range fights. That often means a sniper with an SMG, or a DMR with an SMG, or a very stable assault rifle or carbine with either an SMG or a close-range gun like the M4 or the new SAW or something like that. So try to always run with a close range and a medium to long ranged option. There's no point in having two weapons that fit the same role. So on that topic, we'll start off with the Cord 6P67. Now this has been really good in the multiplayer. A lot of people are running it. It fires like an absolute beam. It takes people out really quickly. It has a great fire rate as well, 900 fire rate, only 20 damage, but with its very high control and decent precision, this thing can still clap players out to medium range. Alright, so the Cord is a very interesting one. Let me show you in the firing range first so you can see how it handles and what it does. We'll start with the closest dummy, the little hip fire. As you can see, the rate of fire is very good. We absolutely lasered all four of those dummies in one magazine because we're using the 36 rounder. We'll go to the attachment soon. But what makes the Cord so nice is that we can actually use this as our medium to long ranged option, and it still holds up in close range because of its rate of fire. This gun has been shredding in multiplayer. It's been very popular. A lot of people are running it, and for good reason. After the patch, it is still very good, and in the BR mode, it shines more than ever because of how accurate it is, how easy the recoil control is, and how low the deviation is until you start getting beyond 100 meters. So for your medium to long range choice, if you like running assault rifles, the Cord is really good. As you can see, we'll get that dummy right at the back. Just by doing a spray, we can take it out, and we can even probably take out the next one, as you see there. So we can actually take out enemies at that medium to long range with this gun because it's so accurate, and then it holds up even better the closer that you get. You can see the dummies just get absolutely shredded. So the Cord is a great choice. I highly recommend grabbing it if you haven't and putting some levels in it. I've leveled mine up to 27. We're going for the compensated break, which is a bit expensive at 20, but it gives us the best stat boosts out of all of the comps and suppressors and things like that. If you find yourself being frustrated that you're appearing on the minimap and you don't want to be showing on the minimap when you're shooting, well, you could put the flash hider or the suppressor on. But if you want pure recoil control and stats on the gun so it performs best, then the compensated break is the way to go. I would also say slap on the heavy barrel here. As you can see, it gives us some nice precision and adds to our accuracy as we continue firing at that range, so that helps with those ranged engagements, which is what this weapon shines at, that medium range sort of fighting. And the classic vertical grip, very expensive, but again, the best choice for improving our precision and control, which is basically our recoil and bullet deviation. Now, I would go up to the 40 round mag, or even to the higher ones, the fast mag, the 45 rounder, but it's too expensive. We want to focus on bringing that recoil and deviation down so that we can laser beam enemies at a distance. So we need the break, we need the vertical grip. So the 36 rounder, as we saw in the training room, you can still take out multiple enemies in one mag. It is really good. We just have standard ammo, and for the sights, it's pretty different for everyone. Pick your poison, what you like the most. You can actually tweak the sensitivity per different scope, so the 1.5, the 1.7, the 2 times, the 3 times, and so on. You can individually change their sensitivity in the settings, but if you're finding them a bit weird, try the CCO 2 times. This one feels the most universally normal in terms of its sensitivity if you're playing mouse and keyboard. So CCO scope, really nice. Definitely give it a go if you haven't already. So this is the Cord, as you can see. Really good fire rate. The damage is 20, which still works even out to range, as we saw. Decent mag size with that new mag. Velocity is pretty good, really high control, great precision. This is a staple mid to long range gun if you want to use it. Now, we also have to talk about the NVO. And while we're on this topic, you may have noticed that some guns have this little red icon and some don't. And that's the favorite icon. Guns have to be favorited in order to grab them as your custom gun in the actual Battle Royale mode. So what you want to do is go into a weapon, and you'll see all the different variants of that weapon. Click on the one that you want to use and click the favorite button here. We can unfavorite and refavorite. That's what allows you to actually grab it in a match of the RedSec BR mode. So make sure you're favoriting the guns that you want to, after you set them up, that you want to use in your matches. Now, the NVO, let's just go into the firing range, because you'll see it behaves similarly to the Cord, but it's a little bit different. It's a side grade. So again, we'll just do the exact same test. And you can see here, we didn't manage to kill that dummy there, but we do have a lower mag size. If we're just with a couple more shots, we did it. So if we had the 36 rounder, it would perform very similar. But the dummy at the very back, ooh, that was accurate. I was just holding that down as well. So what you're seeing here is a very similar gun in terms of its performance. Let's take a look at the stats, because that's where things get a bit interesting. So this NVO actually has a lower rate of fire, 650 instead of 900, but more damage, 33 instead of 20. So the NVO and the Cord are kind of like side grades to each other. So you can see the Cord, way more precision and control. The NVO, way more damage, lower rate of fire. So they handle differently, they behave differently. It will come down to your personal preference, which of these two that you prefer. I would not bring both in each gun slot. I would pick one for your medium to long range choice if you like assault rifles. Now for the actual setup, we don't have quite as many levels on this, so I'm using the converter, which is the best choice until we get to the compensated break. So as you can see, the recoil will actually become even better when we upgrade to this at level 38, but level 38 is really high. It takes absolutely ages to level up guns in this game. We of course want the extended barrel. As you can see, if we swap off of it, our bullet velocity goes down. So we want that extra bullet velocity so our bullets travel faster. And as said before, the classic vertical is the best grip to slap on these guns to improve their precision and control stat, which is what matters most when it comes to more medium range fights. I've just got the fast mag on. I would love to put the 40 round fast on, but it's just too expensive and we can't squeeze those points in. Maybe if you take off a laser, you could actually slap on the fast mag. No, we're still 5 points off, and there's just not 5 points that we can shave off here. Of course, you could drop the comp off if you want to and slap that on if you want that extra magazine. As you can see, the bigger magazine size, that's always a choice. We just take it as standard ammo, and again, the CCO being my preferred scope now. It seems to have the best sensitivity compared to all the other ones, at least at default settings. So the NVO and the Cord, they're like side grades of each other. It's kind of like a pick your poison kind of scenario, depending on which one's your preference, the faster fire rate, lower damage, or the higher damage, lower fire rate. Again, they serve the same role, they just handle and feel differently. So that's the first two top tier best guns, at least for that medium to longer range from the assault rifle category. Now, let's talk about some SMGs. Let's go over some close range options. We're going to start with the KV9, aka the Vector. Now, this thing is a beast. When it comes to your loadout, as said before, you want a close range and then a medium to long range in your 2 gun slots. In your close range slot, an SMG is going to serve that close range role really, really well. And the Vector here, the KV9, has pretty much the fastest time to kill out of all the weapons, at least one of the highest time to kills out of all of the weapons. Unfortunately, this will require leveling up a ton in order to get the extended mags, and you will really want this 27 or this 23 rounder. As you can see, level 26 for the 23 rounder, level 40 for the 27 rounder. So this one you're either going to want to grind out, or even better, find an in-game version, because the in-game ones that you loot and rank up get those extended mags by default, so you don't actually need to use a custom loadout version of this. But as you'll see, in close range, the time to kill is just insane. The dummies die so fast. Even this one out here, absolutely shredded. It's just an ammo problem when it comes to this gun, but the time to kill is totally there and totally makes up for it. So the KV9, the Vector, 100% one of the best SMGs you can run. You just need to level it up a lot, or actually find it in-game, because it will have the bigger magazine size in-game without needing to actually level it. So level this up if you're looking for a super fast time to kill weapon. And again, as a side grade choice for your SMG, the SCW10 is another one that really shines. This has, just like the Vector, an incredibly fast time to kill. However, it also suffers from a low magazine. You see we've got the 15 rounder. You need to get to 22 for the 20 rounder, or 27 for the 25 rounder. But once you get that 25 rounder, much like with the Vector, it becomes universally an incredible SMG with a super high time to kill. If you look at the stat difference between the Vector and the SCW is 33 damage, 800 rate of fire, the Vector 25, 1080 rate of fire. So this gun, SCW, slightly slower, more damage, Vector slightly faster, slightly less damage. They have similar time to kill. I think the Vector is slightly higher, so it's personal preference between these two choices. And much like with the Vector, the SCW-10 here, if you find it in-game, you can just upgrade it with the kits, and it will actually get these bigger magazine sizes, so you don't actually need the mastery levels if you're using an in-game drop version. So when you're dropping, when you're looting boxes, and you're looking for that close-range choice in one of your weapon slots, look out for the Vector and the SCW-10. These are going to be your best choices to out-time to kill your opponents. Of course, the SGX, the PW5A3 or the MP5 are really good choices, but these two guns, while they're good and they're stable and they're just universally nice, they don't have as fast time to kill as the Vector and the SCW-10. So what you'll see over time as more people learn this and more people put respect on time to kill, as it is quite a new mode at the minute, you'll see people running the Vector and the SCW-10 a lot more frequently, because when it comes to a close range fight against other SMG choices, these two guns will win and you will down the enemy first. If you're looking for an SMG that has slightly more range to it though, the UMG40, aka the UMP, is also a good choice. This is sort of universally good in the BR mode. It has very high precision, as you can see, very high control, decent damage, but a lower rate of fire. So if you want an SMG that can do out to medium ranges really good, then the UMG here is a great choice. But as I've said, you want a long range and a short range gun, ideally when you're playing a BR game. So for that short range gun, the Vector and the SCW-10 are going to be the way to go, at least in my opinion. If you're looking for an alt choice though, for that close range, for that close to medium range, then look no further than the SAW 300 SC. This is a compact SCAR. This one is really, really cool, but let me just show you in the firing range what this bad boy can do, because it's a little laser beam. Oh, look at that. One mag, we took out all the first 4 targets. With a little bit of burst firing, we can take out the back targets as well. For some reason, this compact SCAR can kind of just do it all. Almost there. You see, we got the 100 meters, we got the closer one and the closer one in one magazine. This SCAR is actually the newest one that was added in Season 1, so it's just been added in. You can get the skin in the Battle Pass. You can unlock it just by playing through the free part of the Battle Pass as well. But this SAW 300 SC is a great close to medium range choice if you want to have something different and use a carbine instead. You can see the rate of fire is lower at 600, but the damage is 33. And while the stats here don't look very high on precision and control, as you just saw in the training room, it's a monster. I'm just running on this, the single port break. The gun is very new, so I don't have tons of levels in it. But of course, you want that extended barrel. You want that 20-point compensated break, as we've talked about. And you want to go up to the classic vertical grip, this one here, when you have it, to really bring those stats up on the precision and control so that you can do those medium range fights with even more laser beam accuracy. So the SAW 300 SC, definitely put respect on this. It is performing really well right now in the new BR mode. Now, for a long-range choice, if you are playing the Recon class, because you get much more breath control, it's usable now because they did improve it in the patch, but it's still, snipers are still so much better on the Recon class. They can hold their breath for a lot longer. You want to look no further than a sniper rifle for your long-range choice. Snipers are going to be dominating when it comes to that longer range rather than medium to close, so you can't go wrong here. But there's 3, well, now 4 with the Mini Scout different sniper rifles, and which one should you take? Well, the most simple thing is the default sniper, the M2010 SR, is probably the best all-rounder. The difference between the sniper rifles is their sweet zone, basically the one-shot range that you have on it. So with this default sniper, the ESR, if you're within 80 to 100 meters of an enemy, you'll one-shot them with the rainbow glint. With the SV98, if you're within 70 to 90 meters, so a slightly shorter range, this will one-shot enemies. And then with the PSR, if you finally unlock this one after the crazy challenge, the one-shot range increases to 120 to 150 meters, meaning this is best for the longest range fights. The ESR is best for middle range fights, and the SV98 is best for closer range fights. Now, in the BR, in the later circles in the game, that can mean that the SV98 here is actually the better sniper choice. But if you find yourself sniping really long ranges, mid-match, early match, then the PSR is going to be the best choice. So it comes down to where you're sniping people at what ranges and how it feels to you. So pick one of these snipers based on their sweet range and where you find yourself shooting at. The Mini Scout is pretty nice. It doesn't really have a sweet spot range that I can at least tell, but it does have automatic rechambering when scoped, so that is a choice if you want to do quick back-to-back shots. But generally speaking for the snipers, you're going to want to stick to one of these three based on the range that you're engaging enemies. Now let's talk about some honorable mentions. We'll start off with the AK205. Now, even without attachments, as you'll see, this thing is a beast. It is a laser, even without attachments. We've been noticing that when you find this in ground loot and you upgrade it all the way up to purple, it's actually really competitive. So the AK205 is a really good choice if you want a gun that has almost no recoil or bloom. Bloom is so important in this mode because the bullet deviation is crazy on a lot of guns. There's a few bugs that are affecting it as well. So if you can get maxed out precision, you're going to have a good time and you're going to be hitting more bullets at your target. As you can see, even without attachments on, this thing is a beast. 76 precision just pretty much by default and super high control as well. So the AK205, don't sleep on that. However, let's talk about a DMR because the LMR27 is notably one of the worst DMRs for the multiplayer mode. Why is that? Because it has the lowest damage out of all the other options, but the higher fire rate. However, in the BR mode, having it still be a DMR means you can still hit out to medium and long, but because you have higher rate of fire, even though the damage is lower, you can just keep pelting bullets at the enemy without them really being able to do much about it if their gun just doesn't have that precision at you. So this one is actually really, really nice if you can keep the recoil under control to rapid fire tap it. When it comes to LMGs, in my opinion, there's been only one choice that is performing well, and it's actually this one, the KTS 100 MK8. The KTS is a monster. It's been a monster in the multiplayer mode. I've tested out the M60, I've tested out the L110, the M123K, the M250, the PKM. I've tested out pretty much most of these LMGs in the BR mode, and the one that felt consistently the best was the KTS 100. So if you're wanting to run an LMG for the more medium to long range engagements, then the KTS is definitely the way to go here. So there you have it, the best guns that you should be using in the new RedSec Battle Royale mode for the different situations and different ranges. Remember, you want to be taking a close range gun and a medium to long range gun, so you're available to respond to any situation. So we've given you a variety of choices there for your close range options, for your medium to long range options. I hope that helped you out. Drop any other weapons that you've been having success with down in the comments. I would love to learn what's working for you guys, and we'll be back with more videos on your favorite games very, very soon. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.